Okay, so today we're going to be making our holiday llama. And you're going to take a big sheet of white paper, please put your name on the back, and a llama stencil to help you with the drawing. And you're going to lay it on the paper and gently trace, holding down with one hand as you move around the shape. So once you have that, you're going to want to draw the llama's face. Now the llama face can be your own design. I was inspired by these certain kind of llamas I saw in a magazine, so I'm actually going to draw their face. But you can kind of decide. You can make it with a like wacky kind of face with her tongue sticking out. You can make it a serious face. You can make it a funny face. However you want to make it. Okay, so I'm going to come about right here and I'm going to draw the llama nose. And I'm looking up a picture. I will have some images on the board that can kind of help you. It's sort of hard to imagine what a llama looks like. And this llama has their tongue sticking out, and I like that. I think that's cute. Okay, so that's the gist of a llama face. If you want to add any certain details to the top, like anything up here, you can, or you can just keep it simple. So I'm just going to have that like that for now. I will fill it in later, obviously with color. So what you're going to do first is you are going to go ahead and gently outline the face with a Sharpie, just so we don't lose it after we paint, because sometimes the paint will block all that pencil. Alright, so now we're going to paint, and you are going to, I have different shades of like tan and brown, and you're going to pick your shade you want. Just put it on a piece of scrap paper, and you will paint your llama. Now we are going to cut this llama out, so if you get outside of the lines, that's not that big a deal, but just kind of know where the lines are. So you don't lose the shape. And when we paint, we always drag the paintbrush, make it nicely painted. I don't want to see a bunch of sloppy, you know, that kind of looking stuff. Treat your brush nice, drag it. Alright, so I've painted the body, and now I'm going to move on to this little part on the face. And all I'm going to do there, I want it to be a little different than the color of the body, so I am going to mix just a little bit of white. I'm going to make it into a tint with my tan. That way I'm still in the same color family, not changing it too much. There we go. And it's fine if you get on your black marks. You can always go back over those at the end once it's dry. I'm also going to do the nose that color as well. You can do the nose the color of the body, you can do the nose black, etc., how you want to do it. Okay, so now that that's done, I'm going to move down towards the legs. And I want your legs to be gray. So to get gray, on my paint palette, I have white, I have black. All I do, take a little bit of black, mix it in the white, and voila, you have gray. And I want you to paint starting here and going to right about here, gray. Remember, if you get outside the lines, it's not that big a deal. We are going to cut this out. And I'm just using the tippy toe of the brush and I'm also going to do his eyes black. Or her eyes, however kind of llama you want to make. If you wanted to do the nose black, this would be the time to do it. Okay, so now we just have to wait for this all to dry, and then we get to add all the holiday stuff on top. Okay, so my llama is dry right now, and I'm just taking a pink crayon and quickly coloring in the tongue. So that's all finished. And then you're going to go through a box of fabric. And you're going to pick a swatch of fabric that you like, and we're going to create like a little towel sort of thing that hangs over the body of the llama. So usually they put these on animals, like before they would put a saddle on a horse to kind of give it a little protection against the skin. And so you're going to pick your fabric swatch. Here's mine. And it's going to lay right about here. So I'm just going to take a Sharpie and I am going to just lay this up here and kind of figure out where I'm going to want it, and then just draw a curved line okay, and with scissors you want to cut that out. And once you have that cut out, you're going to bring it to me and I will hot glue it onto the llama. So when you cut fabric, it actually works better if you kind of stick to the front part of your scissors rather than trying to do big chops. If you have a ton of leftover fabric, keep it. Put it back in the box. You can reuse it. So this will go right here. Great. Alright, so now that I have that, I'm just going to simply cut out my llama. Please stay right on the lines. I don't want to see like the white of the paper on the side. We want this to be as neat as possible. Showing good craftsmanship because we are good artists. Okay, once you have the llama cut out, please recycle your scraps. Double check your work, make sure you don't have any weird little white edges. I have a little bit, so I'm going back in. Okay. And you are going to take your llama and you're going to pick out a big sheet of paper and you're going to glue it on. So I'm choosing green. When you get your sheet of paper, write your name on the back and the letter of your art day. Flip it over and flip your llama over, and I would do a frame of glue around the edges. Try not to do too much glue. You don't want to see it like spread out once you flip it over and put it down. So I do a frame and then I'm going to put a little in the middle. What I have to do is I have a bunch of just scrap paper, and I'm going to use this to create presents that my llama is delivering. And I'm going to stack these presents on top of his back. And then if we want to add any like Santa hats or just earmuffs or anything like that, we're going to make that with paper, so it's going to be a collage. So what I would probably do is draw out a box of some sort for your present. So it's just kind of like a rectangle shape. And you want 2 to 3 boxes. So I'm just going to show you one. Cut it out. Recycle anything we don't need anymore. And then with smaller scrap paper, probably not the good stuff. I don't think I would need the good stuff. You want to create like design on here. So this is my present. Sit on top of Mr. Llama or Mrs. Llama. And so with this, I might take some yellow and just cut some strips. So here's my present. Now my strips are longer than the present. So what I'm going to do is just glue them all on there and then cut the edges off at the end. So since this is a tiny piece of paper, I'm just doing dots of glue, not lots. So I'll just glue that down and keep going. So now I'm just going to flip this over. Glue it down, and I'm going to make another present to sit on top of this one. Now I'm pretty confident in my abilities, so I am not going to draw it first. So I'm just going straight in with the scissors. Something like that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a bow. So I'm going to use a pencil and I'm going to draw a Christmas bow to go on top so we know these are presents. And then what I like to do is I like to take my shape, glue it down on a colored piece of paper, and then it gives it a border. So I'll glue it down here, and then I will cut around this shape, but leaving some of the yellow showing. And that just adds more interest to the shape itself. Right on top here. And I'm overlapping, so it looks like it's falling down over the present. So you can do a big pile of presents, you could do a bunch of tiny presents, or just 2 like I did with the bow. And I'm going to start adding some more details. I'm going to add like a harness across this part of the llama. I might add some earmuffs just to make it a little more fun. And you can do all of that with paper. It's all collage. So for the harness, for instance, I'm going to just take some scrap paper and I'm going to draw on the paper where I think the harness might be, and I will just cut it out. Very similar to how you did the fabric. So then you can lay that right there. And just add all fabulous designs to it. Now the rest is up to you and your creativity. Okay, so here is my holiday llama. I've added presents, I've added details, just to give it a little more interest to it. I put earmuffs on them. And now I'm going to go back with a Sharpie and just make sure all my lines are coming through. And now I'm going to create a border or a frame around this image. And to do that, I have strips, 2-inch strips of paper. And I'm simply going to cut these into an interesting design. And I'm going to do just a bouncy, kind of curved line. I'm not drawing mine first because I know exactly what I want, but if you want to draw it with a pencil first, that would probably be a good option. And so what this is going to be, I will glue it just all around the border of my camel piece. So it finishes it off, because right now it does look a little unfinished, just because the background looks kind of plain. So that'll go all the way around. And I'm just going to take all these strips together and cut them at the same time. So I'm working smarter, not harder. Okay, so now my holiday llama is all complete, ready to go.